If you're a long-time gamer, I'm sure you're aware of the dreaded stick drift. As you can see right here, I'm struggling just to make any sort of adjustment because my stick drift is just pulling this aim walking speed over to the left. As much as I try to go right, it just keeps on pulling it to the left. So today we're going to go ahead and try to fix this problem. If you have 20 minutes, you can try this at home and potentially save yourself the cost of a brand new controller. So let's get started. So for this, you're going to need a pry tool, a precision screwdriver, a brush, and some tweezers. The tweezers are optional, some rubbing alcohol, some paper towels, and some Q-tips. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to push down on the triggers, and you're going to use the pry tool to get under the L1 and R1 bumpers and pop those right off. Now we're going to use a small pry tool to remove the black faceplate off the controller. Just get under the corners and it should pop off really easy. Just be careful with these two pointy ends. You don't want to break these, so just remove that part very carefully. Now we have 2 screws on the bottom and 2 screws on the top from under the bumpers. You're just going to go ahead and remove those. Now we're going to go ahead and open up the controller. Go ahead and use your small pry tool to open up the controller. Just watch out with these 2 notches in the front and then just follow along the seams and you'll be able to open it up. Once you have the controller pried open at the seams, just go ahead and gently pull apart the backside of the controller. And now that we have it open, we'll just go ahead and start cleaning out the controller. Here you can go ahead and use your brush to remove any stubborn dirt. Once we have the back plate clean, we can get started on the rest of the controller. The first thing we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and remove the battery. To do that, go ahead and lift the battery pack and disconnect the little white tab from the controller. Once we do that, you'll see the screw that holds the battery plate in place, and just go ahead and remove it. Now here, you'll see the small ribbon cable connected at the bottom. Be very careful with this, but go ahead and remove it. And now we can remove the battery plate. Now here you'll see 4 ribbon cables connected to the motherboard. Just go ahead and carefully remove those. Now this blue ribbon cable at the top probably is the most difficult one to remove, but just go ahead and give it a little wiggle and it should come out. Now here, you'll see 2 more screws. Just go ahead and remove those. Now go ahead and flip over the controller and using your thumbs, gently push the analog sticks through the controller in order to remove the faceplate. Now we're going to take the actual analog sticks and pop those right off. Now here we're going to try and fix the drift problem. So dip your paper towel or your Q-tip in the rubbing alcohol and start cleaning in and around the joystick. Be sure to move the joystick around to expose the sides and continue cleaning. Be sure to clean inside and around the box and as well as those bands that you see. Now this next part is completely optional, but since I already have the controller open, I'm going to go ahead and remove these 2 screws in order to expose the front of this piece so that we can give this control a thorough cleaning. Now that the controllers are all cleaned up, we're going to go ahead and start assembling it again. You're going to want to make sure that you slide this blue tab through this slot that you see right here. And now we can start putting these screws back in. Now, give the actual analog sticks a thorough cleaning before popping those right back onto the motherboard. And now let's just put it back in place. Just be careful with the cable ribbons, make sure you don't leave them stuck under the motherboard. And now we can start connecting all of the ribbon cables. Now let's put these screws back into place. Once we've done that, we can put the battery plate back on the controller and screw it right in. Now we can connect the battery pack. Just make sure that the 3 connectors go on the right side and the flat side is going to the left. Now we can take this last piece with the ribbon cable and put it back into place. Now we can put the back of the controller right back on. Once the controller is sealed tight, we can start putting the screws back on. Now let's pop the L1, R1 buttons back onto the controller. And lastly, we'll put the black faceplate back on. Just be careful with the 2 pointy tips. This part can be a little tricky to get right back on. And that's it. So let's go ahead and test it out. So you'll see here, no more stick drift. Finally, my gun isn't moving. We're all set. We were able to fix the problem. If this worked for you, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you on the next one.